What is going on, Visual on Gamers? It is Benson. Today I'm going to be ranking all 4 of the field upgrades and Vanguard Zombies. If you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe, all that cool nonsense. Check out the links in the description. Make sure you check out that Discord. Join it right now. I don't care. Just join it. And if you subscribe to me, I'll shout you out. Yes, you the big homie. Speaking of that, shout out to Cohen Van Austin. He subscribed to me, and if you do, I'll shout you out. Yes, you the big homie. And if not, I'll lick your eyeballs. How about that one? Let's get it. I hate to say this, but number 4, the worst one's got to be Ring of Fire. And what a turn of events. I mean, nobody really expected this, granted, because how good it was in Cold War. And you could argue with me on this one, but when in this game do you sit in the same place, or you're allowed to? You're always pushed out by the zombies. Ring of Fire got nerfed pretty heavy, and also it does not have its skill tree. I mean, that's what made it good, and now we don't have that, and now it just gives us a little bit of boost to damage. Granted, it could be good in some very specific situations, but now that homie's garbage. I don't know why they nerfed him so hard. Like, they literally just flipped him upside down on his head, and not like, I don't like it. I get the nerf, but why? It's a PvE mode, and number 2, I mean, the weapons kind of garbage after, you know, around 15 20. They definitely get to be a lot less good, and you have to use other field upgrades just to make sure you don't die. So realistically, it's not that good. And also, super sprinters will rush you out of the Ring of Fire, and usually when I use it, I notice that number 1, I always get pushed out of it. Number 2, it's not enough damage. Or number 3, it's not effective, and I always find myself not using it, or, you know, just stuff along that line. And it's not really good, considering, you know, we don't have a round-based map yet. It probably will be better in the future. You know, they'll probably maybe buff it, or, you know, with a round-based map, it would make it a little bit easier to use it, because you could sit in one spot without multiple angles of zombies killing you, and yada yada yada. It'll just make it a little bit better. The current state, though, just with Anfang, it's not exactly the brightest of the bunch, and it's definitely not the best one to use, but it is still Ring of Fire. And I mean, hey, it's better than nothing, really. And for our number 3 spot, we have the good old buddy Frost Blast. And this is actually, it's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty specific in terms of when you use it. I don't find myself using this if I'm not cornered, or if I'm, you know, if I have a big boss zombie and I need to slow down some zombies around me. It is actually pretty effective. It is definitely a lot better than it was in Cold War, and, you know, it's got some pretty good abilities. And the reason why I like this a little bit more than Ring of Fire is you can use it just running around. Number 1, if zombies are around you, you can freeze them, so they're, you know, they'll stop. And this is pretty useful, especially on the higher rounds. You know, super sprinters, they're gonna absolutely destroy your booty cheeks, so you want to make sure that you actually have a chance, and you at least slow down a couple. And, you know, if you block a couple in the doorways, zombies, they'll eventually block the other ones, and it can be a little bit useful depending on the situation you're in. It is really good, I would say. Sometimes it is a little glitchy, like it won't freeze zombies, but I mean, that's stuff that will be eventually patched. But overall, it isn't the best, but I gotta say, for some reason, it just works a lot better than Ring of Fire. It gets me out of a lot of bad situations, and it helps freeze bosses too, which is, you know, pretty good, especially because it can get really annoying, especially on higher rounds, when you have a boss who's shooting you, and you have super sprinters, and then you don't have enough ammo, and this and that and that. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. It's helpful in those situations, but other than that, it's not exactly the best, because, you know, you aren't always going to be stuck in a pickle. You know, not everybody goes to a high round. And yeah, and also another thing too, it is really good with insta kill. I don't know if you just seen that, but I killed him in 1 hit with insta kill. So if you use it with insta kill, it is actually way better, and it is actually one of the better ones, I would say, even like number 2 or 1. But definitely this one is definitely not the best, I would say, but it's still pretty fun regardless. Now for our number 2 spot, we have Aether Shroud, and I kind of bashed this a little bit at first, but it's actually pretty useful in this game. I was a little upset that you don't get the little teleportation, or, you know, you don't get the little speed boost or 3 charges or whatever, but considering how it is in Vanguard Zombies, this is definitely going to be one of the better ones, mainly because it can get you basically a free kill on a boss zombie, and it could get you out of a pickle just like Frost Blast does. So it's a little bit better, I would say, for that, mainly because, you know, you can get out of a pretty sticky situation. You have about 5 seconds, and that might not seem like a lot, but either you can run away from the crowd if you can, and if not, it gives you enough time to like pull out a monkey bomb or a decoy, or hell, even throwing a grenade or a Molotov out the ground. If you think you could live, go for it. But it definitely gives you, I would say, a second chance. That's why I noticed in this. I mean, it is a little bit less good than the Cold War version because there's no upgrades for it, like I said, but it could just use a little bit more time. I think 5 seconds is it's a little bit to be honest. I mean, if you think back to Black Ops 3, we had in plain sight, you got 2 charges and it hit you for 10 seconds, which it was actually a lot better because technically you got like 20 seconds and then you could just refill it whenever you wanted to and it was free. But I mean, granted, this one does actually refill pretty quickly, I would say, out of all of them. It's not exactly going to fill the fastest. I would definitely say a couple others do that, but in terms of the actual state after Anfang right now, it is definitely one of the better, I don't know, the better field upgrades, I guess. And it's still, you could still use it in the higher rounds, which is the nice thing about it. It won't drop off or not give you enough or this or that. It's always going to hide you, which is pretty good. And I notice with it sometimes that some zombies, like the boss zombies, will shoot me and sometimes others will not. I think that's a glitch, I'm pretty sure, but they'll shoot you even though you're hidden, which is a little bit weird. But it's only sometimes though. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but it's a little finicky right now for sure. I mean, that goes with all of them, I guess, right? And the number one for sure, it's got to be Energy Mine, man. You can sit here and say cap, you sound stupid, but listen to me. I mean, let's be honest here. Energy Mine, it basically just one hits no matter what. I mean, you can pre-place it, you can hide it. If you can see right now, I'm placing it for later when I will need it, and it charges like the fastest. Like, there's no doubt in my mind this thing charges the fastest. It has an extremely good blast radius, and it kills a lot of zombies. It is a really good trap, mainly, there's no traps in the game, and this kind of serves for that and gives a lot of damage. It won't get you, it can get you out of a bad situation, but sometimes the only problem I have with this upgrade, just at all, like, I think the damage is good, I think the range is good, I think all of that is good. Sometimes when you place it in front of you, it'll place on the side or like behind you or this and that, and it places really weird. Sometimes all of these need a fix, not even just a buff or a nerf. They just need to be fixed, and really it's a simple fix, but eventually it will happen, and this will be used on at least this mode. I would say, maybe if you're on a round based mode, it might not be as good, but hey, they do stack, which is really nice, so you can put them in a little corner, and then if you get stuck in a bad situation, if you're camping, you can just back up and use these, and it will kill a lot of zombies, especially if you have insta kill as well, because it acts exactly like Frost Blast, and it will just destroy any enemy. And with good range too, you're going to be pretty safe. I mean, that's the great thing about this field upgrade. I really wish it would have a little tier upgrade or something like that, just because I would like to see additional charges that you could be stored, but with the current state of Vanguard, we don't know if we'll get upgrades with these tiers. It probably won't happen, but hey, you never know at the end of the day, right? It's only the beginning of the season. And one other thing, you might be sitting here wondering, like, how is it better than Ring of Fire? How is it better than all this and that? And that's really because it just works. This is the one that actually does quite a bit. And yeah, Frost Blast kind of does that as well, but Energy Mine just does it a little bit better because you can hold multiple and place multiple. I think that's a little bit better, at least in my eyes. It is my opinion after all, and I'm probably wrong, but hey, that's the beauty of it at the end of the day. But gamers, if you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe, all that cool nonsense. Scratch my back, I scratched yours. Check out the links in the description, it would really help me out. And yeah, if you made it far, you deserve a cookie. But other than that, gamers, I will see you guys next one. Have a wonderful day. See ya.